Hello everyone, myself Dr. Ranjith Kumar Gatla, working as an Associate Professor in the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. So in today's class, we are going to discuss about some basics about or some introduction to the outcome-based education. So what is outcome-based education and what are the basic, concepts that we are adopting as a part of the outcome-based education. So here, first of all, before going to this outcome-based education, so we must know there are two bodies. One is the Washington Accord and another one is the NBA, which is the National Board of Accreditation. So here, the Washington Accord is the multilateral agreement signed in 1989 between the bodies responsible for accreditation or recognition, which means there are, initially several countries, they have formed a independent body in 1989. So this body is responsible for the accreditation or the recognition process of the various higher educational institutions across the globe. And after that, in India, in accordance with the Washington Accord, so we have established the National Board of Accreditation. In short form, we can call it as a NBA. Is a board established by the AICTE for the purpose of accreditation of the higher education institutes in India, right? So which means initially it was under the control of AICTE, but but since 2020, okay, so this particular NBA body is an autonomous body because now that is not under the IACTE, so it is an independent and autonomy body since 2010. So which means here this NBA is a full-time member of the Washington Accord. So it accreditates the program and not the institute. Okay, so the important thing here it is this NBA accreditation, the National Board of Accreditation, is for the only the program, not for the institute. Program is nothing but suppose here this particular electrical circuit course, okay, not subject here, the terminology is a course. So this course belongs to which program? The program is BTech in Electrical and Electronics Engineering. So BTech in Electrical and Electronic Engineering is a one program. So similarly, BTech in Computer Science and Engineering is another program, and BTech in Mechanical Engineering is another program, and BTech in Civil Engineering is another program. So here the program is nothing but our in general terminology like a branch, right? But in OBE terminology, so we just named it as the program. And then, before applying for the NBA accreditation, so the concerned department should make sure that COs are well defined, which serves the purpose of outcome-based education system, right? So outcome-based, which means here, as you can see, outcome-based education. So that's why just before, the beginning of the course, so we must define the course outcomes. The course outcomes are nothing but at the end of the course, so what students should able to do. Okay, so which means before starting the course only, we are just defining the outcomes. So we are just writing the expected outcomes, and after end of the course, so then even though we will just evaluate whether we have attained that particular outcomes or not. Okay, so that is what here outcome based education system. Okay, if we didn't attain, then we will just again we will improve our the teaching methodologies, or maybe sometimes the curriculum, like that, right? So one more advantage of adopting this particular outcome-based education system here it is the curriculum. So we can change the curriculum, the curriculum by dynamically adapting to to the requirements of the different stakeholders. Of course, as you can see, how rapidly, how dynamically the technology is changing. So based on the technology and based on the industry requirement, so here the NBA is providing a provision that you can dynamically adopt or dynamically change the curriculum according to the the various stakeholders. Of course, here in OBE, the stakeholders are like the students. Students also one of the stakeholders, and parents, and even industry persons, and recruiters also. Okay, which means those companies which are coming to our campus to recruit the students for the employment. So those are also a part of the stakeholders of our institute. Okay, so because we will get feedback or suggestions from these stakeholders to improve of the syllabus, so that we can check whether our curriculum is meeting the industry requirements or not. Then actually here there are majorly three processes. I mean, of course there are various process as are there, but these are the three major processes. One is the curriculum. Okay, and we will I mean, first we will frame the curriculum as we discussed in the previous slide. Okay, based on the feedback or inputs so taking from the various stakeholders, and based on that we will design an effective curriculum. So once we have designed the effective curriculum, then we must teach that particular effective curriculum by using some pedagogical teaching learning methodologies, right? So how effectively, of course we have effectively designed the curriculum, but how effectively you are teaching that particular curriculum to the students or that particular courses to the students is also very important. So once you have just thought, teach the particular courses, then after that the assessment. Okay, so which means, of course, we have just floated the courses, but we don't know, okay, whether the students got our, the main intention of our curriculum design or outcome or not. Okay, so that is also very important, because just now we have mentioned before there's just before start the course. Okay, we are just defining the outcomes, but at the end of the course we must again evaluate or assess the outcomes. Okay, whether we have we have attained the course outcomes or not. Okay, so if we didn't attain, then what are the reasons and not to get attain the course outcomes, and based on that reason, so then again we have to take the corrective actions to improve the attainment of the course outcomes. So like that, these are the three major key steps in the outcome based education system. Then that's what here the effective curriculum and appropriate teaching and learning methodologies, and also the appropriate assessment and evaluation methodologies. So these are the three key points in the outcome based education system. Then coming to the what are the advantages of the outcome based education system? Of course, just now we have discussed the three key points. Okay, those are also comes under the advantage, right? But here, as before we mentioned, so we can change the curriculum by dynamically adapting the requirements of the different stakeholders, right? So how we will, and that there is a process. Okay, so that is again is well defined. So we just adapt that process to get the feedback from the various stakeholders, and based on that feedbacks, then we will summarize, and accordingly we will change or improve our curriculum. That is one advantage. And another advantage, because here this one of the beauty of this outcome based education system here it is the student centric education process. Okay, so which means the total focus is on the students, not the faculty or not the some other things. Okay, so which means what student can do or what are the student abilities. Okay, because even though the course outcomes itself are defined, at the end of the course the students able to do. Okay, so what is his ability, right? So that is also we are just evaluating or assessing. Okay, so that is why this is the OB is the student centric education process. Then the third one is an outcome is what the learner will be able to do or perform as a result of some learning experience, because throughout the course he will have some learning experience. So based on his learning experience, so what these learner or the students will able to do. So that is also one of the important point in this outcome education system. Okay, then there are like so many advantages. Of course, this is internationally recognized and the global employment opportunities, because as we discussed, okay, so here NBA is in accordance with the Washington Accord. This is internationally recognized body. Okay, so which means once you have done any degree, okay, any course from this NBA accredited program, okay, then this is internationally recognized. Whatever the courses that you are taking, so these are considered anywhere in the world. That is also one of the important thing. And more employability, of course, because we have dynamically changing the curriculum by taking the feedback from the stakeholders. Like even in the stakeholders, one of the stakeholder is the recruiter. So we are just changing the curriculum, or we are importing the concepts in the curriculum. Okay, so what the industry is expecting, or what are the needs of the industry. So that's why definitely the more employability and more innovative graduates with the professional and soft skills, social responsibility and ethics, right? And better visibility and reputation to the technical institutions. Of course, that's why every institute they mention like MBA accredited programs are offered in this institute, like that. Okay, and of course here, the improving the commitment and involvement of all the stakeholders also. And like the various advantages are there by adopting the OBE in the higher education system. Then what are the four levels of the OBE? Okay, so the four levels of the OBE, here it is, as you can see. First of all, we will define. Okay, so because from the course, okay, so COs, the course outcomes, because based on the course, because every program having what is that various courses. Okay, so the course outcomes are these are the immediate outcomes after end of the course, right? So then the program specific outcomes, so which means program specific. Okay, because of course there are program outcomes are there here. The program outcomes are common for all the programs. Okay, because these are not different for every program, like the program in computer engineering, or program in electrical engineering, or or a BTech in mechanical engineering. For every program, the program outcomes are same, but there is a provision that the program specific outcomes. Okay, so the way the specific program can also, okay, develop, okay, can also write their own program specific outcomes also, just 2 to 3. So those are the program specific outcomes, which means the PSOs are the statements that describe what the graduates of that particular program, right? Then the program outcomes, which means, of course, these are stated by the National Board of Accreditation only, so we cannot define or modify. So these are well defined or predefined program outcomes. So represents, the knowledge, skill, attitude, and the student should have at the end of the 4 years engineering graduation. So which means at the end of the course, okay, at the end of the program, what students should be able to do. So these are defined by the program outcomes. Then one coming to the program educational objectives, right? So these are are the broad statements, because that describes the career and professional accomplishment in the 5 years after the graduation, because these are the long-term goals. Okay, because after 5 years, okay, so what is the accomplishment of the students, or what the students should at what position the student should be able will be there. Okay, like that, the program educational objectives are defined. Then what are the program outcomes? Of course, previously there are 12 program outcomes are there, but now currently there are 11 programs in the new NBA what is that regulations. Okay, but still this particular course is according to the old NBA regulation, so that's why I have mentioned this the 12 outcomes. The first outcome is about the engineering knowledge, and the second outcome is about the problem analysis. Okay, and the third outcome is about the design and development of solutions, and the fourth is conduct investigation of the complex problems, and modern tools usage is the fifth one, and the sixth one is the engineering and society. So similarly, the seventh is environment and sustainability and ethics, individual and teamwork, communication, project management and finance, and lifelong learning. Which means, so we must design the curriculum, okay, to address all these program outcomes. Okay, so which means we must design the some kind of courses, okay, which will address the environment and sustainability. Okay, and we must design a component in the curriculum, so that must address the individual and teamwork. Okay, and also the communication, and also some courses are for the lifelong learning, and some courses are for the project management and finance also. So like this, I mean but not all the courses must address all these program outcomes. Okay, so the some courses will address some program outcomes, and other courses will address the other program outcomes. Okay, so finally, whether this also having the assessment. Okay, so that we will see whether these program outcomes are attained or not. If not attained, then what are the corrective measurements that we need to take to improve the attainment of the program outcomes. That also we will see. So this is the process, like, because first we will be having the vision of the institute, okay, and mission of the institute, and in line with the vision of the institute and vision of the institute, we will also develop the department vision and mission. Okay, so which means from COs we can attain the POs, and from the POs, I mean, sir, PSOs, and PSOs to POs, and POs to PEOs, and then mission and the vision. Okay, so which means this is very short term goal. Okay, and then after this, and after this, and after this, after this, and this is very long term, like this. This is the process. Okay, so this is the development process from vision, mission, PEOs, POs, PSOs, and COs, and the attainment process is in the reverse way. First, we will check whether the COs are attained or not. So after that, then based on the CO attainment, we will check the PSOs are attained or not. Then based on the POs, based on the PEOs, and then mission and the vision. Okay, so that is how, and then we will also continuous improvement, which means here the important points are the quality of learning, okay, and the quality of teaching and the learning outcomes. So these are the three key factors to improve the attainment, right? So which means first we have to plan, then we have to execute the plan, okay, then we have to check whether the plan is executed accordingly, or I mean then if it is not, then we have to act. Okay, so which means here it is not what we teach, okay, it is what they learn. So that's why here it is the student centric, not the faculty or teacher centric. It is a student centric what is it, methodology, that outcome based education system, right? So then coming to the teaching learning process means, of course, there are various pedagogical initiatives are there, okay, like the research based learning and digital initiatives like ICT, and we are using in every class what is that, the TV, and we are using the PPTs, okay, and some experiential learning also is there. Okay, I mean, in every semester you will be having some X1 Exceed course, and also in the fifth semester you will be having the project based learning, and even the research based learning in the sixth semester, and the collaborative learning. So these are the various what is it, the pedagogical initiatives, I mean, a kind of teaching methodologies, okay, and are the teaching learning methodologies, right? And then when coming to the assessment methodologies, of course, one is the internal assessment, another one is the external assessment. So in the internal assessment, the components are what is that, the continuous internal assessment, okay, CIA, okay, in the CIA again you are having two components. One is the CIE, continuous internal examination, and as well as some AAT, alternative assessment tools. Okay, in the AAT you will be having like maybe quiz, okay, or tech talk, or concept videos, or open-ended experiments, and definition and terminology. So there are various components are there again. Then even the lab assessment is also a kind of internal assessment, okay, and project Viva is also a kind of internal assessment. And then coming to the external assessment, of course, we are having only one, that is the semester end examination, SWE examinations. And along with these two, so we will also consider the feedback, okay, in the assessment methods. So the course end survey we will take from the faculty and as well as students, and alumni survey also we will take at the end after, I mean, they graduated, and the employer survey also we will take, and also the parents survey also we will take. So we will consider all these feedbacks as a part of the attainment. So this is what about some basic information about the outcome based education system. And of course, in the outcome based education system, another important thing here, it is the Bloom's taxonomy. Okay, which means, of course, as we mentioned, we are defining the course outcomes for the every course, but what is the level of that particular course outcome? Okay, which means because here you can see, first is remember, then understand. Okay, because if you remember, then only you can understand. Then after understand, apply. Once you get understand, then you will be able to apply. Okay, so then after that, analyze. Then once you will be able to apply, then you can analyze the result. Okay, and based on the analysis, then you can evaluate, right? Okay, whether the particular methodology or algorithm is correct or not. I mean, that you can evaluate. Okay, so once you are able to evaluate, then you can create the new things. So that is what is the level of that particular PO. Anyway, Usually in the first semester we will be having all the foundation courses, so which comes under either remember or understanding. Then second year and third year we will have some what is that, the core courses, okay, which will be belongs to apply or analyze, okay. So only very very few we will go for the evaluate, even not for the create, right? Because evaluate create means it comes under some project work, because you will be having the project work in the final year. So up to that you have gone through many courses, okay. So based on that knowledge, then you can able to create the new things, okay. So that is what about this bloom stacks. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.